as a condition of its site plan for the Arlington headquarters, or the Amazon Arlington headquarters in Pentagon City, Amazon has agreed to build and maintain in perpetuity a brand new expanded Metropolitan Park. And at the September meeting, the board approved the master plan and design guidelines for that park. Now, the idea for a large park in the heart of Pentagon City, it's not new. It was first presented as part of the Pentagon City phased development site plan back in the 70s, but a new vision for this park came with the board's approval of the Amazon plan for HQ2. So explain to this the new and improved Met Park and how this is going to work with Amazon maintaining it. Is this going to be a public park? Is it a private park? Is it a little bit of both? How does that work?
Well, I think this is frankly one of the most exciting things we've had the chance to vote on so far in 2020, perhaps a low bar because it's been such a challenging year, but this is going to be a fabulous addition. As you mentioned, Kara, this is long envisioned for the Pentagon City area to have a really central park. And I think to have Amazon come in and as a condition of their site plan, which filled out the Met Park development area, they are paying for the design and building of the park as well as maintenance of it. So the way that's structured is that the park is going to be owned with Amazon and they're a public easement. So that's basically public access. And I think people, Arlingtonians and residents of 22202 and Pentagon City are going to experience that completely as a public park, which is really the design. But we should talk about what this park is because this is so exciting.
Beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful. And those park enthusiasts or natural resources enthusiasts who followed along with our conversations in Arlington have seen the board adopt, at the urging of some of our urban forestry commissioners, parks and recreation commissioners, and other leaders, a commitment to biophilia, which is to say bringing nature into urban areas. And that is absolutely what this plan does. Native plants, shade trees. The park designer, which is an internationally recognized firm, really was deeply inspired by the native resources around this area of the county, as well as the Potomac River and that sort of undulating natural feel. And so, I think folks who maybe aren't as familiar with biophilia are going to know it when they see it when this park is completed. It is absolutely about bringing a little bit of the wild and a little bit of natural spaces into one of our most developed areas.
Yeah, I love the way they started out talking about the fall line because, my elementary years were in New England. And one of the first things I remember learning about was the fall line. And I actually still look at it. I said, oh, that's the fall line, which is kind of cool. We are right on the fall line. But they really kind of went back through history and into the nature thing. I think, Katie, I've been doing this, longer than you, but you've been doing this for quite a while. I was so impressed with how everybody liked the design. They had done so much work with the community despite needing to do a lot of it virtually, but all of our commissions, our citizens, I mean, I don't think we heard a single, concern about really anything except water. I don't know if you want to talk about that a little bit. We all asked about water. I know you asked.
Yeah, this was raised by one of the key advocates for a biophilic Arlington about the desire to see some sort of modest water feature, not a water feature like a spray ground or others that we might anticipate, but a sort of natural water feature, right, to create the addition of a small brook or creek. We heard back from the Amazon team and their designer that was a little hard for them to effectuate because, interestingly enough, this park is largely built on top of parking garages. But of course, that's something that I'm sure the cutting edge designers have contended with before. And so we hope that might be something that they'll consider in the post-approval process too.
Throughout the pandemic, it's made us all appreciate outdoors and parks and open spaces, all that much more. Do you think that's changed the community's input or the interest surrounding this park at all?
Yes, and I think, we'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge that the process of getting to this park, which is going to open in 2023, has been challenging for the neighbors. We had an item on our agenda, I think 2-3 months ago, maybe, and the contractor who's doing the construction for the Amazon building has been using part of the park. We were divided as a board about whether that should continue. I think ultimately, though, we have heard from quite a few people that they are just incredibly hungry for the opportunity to recreate outside at this time when we are working in our homes and learning in our homes and bereft of the many opportunities to gather, that these types of public spaces are more important than ever.
And they're tired of the construction. that's, that's really hard. And we've still got the one more big building to go, but I haven't heard, I think the noise has settled down and I think it's working out fairly well, but it was really, we really have to throw bouquets to the neighbors because it was really tough for a while as they were going through that.
Okay, well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at that much discussed sidewalk ordinance that sought to enforce social distancing and limit congregating on public sidewalks and streets in posted areas. Stay with us.